Welcome to Ancient Echoes. Through the centuries, ancient art has been more than just decoration. It's a window into the human soul, capturing not only the beauty of the world, but also the deepest, most primal fears. From majestic sculptures to haunting cave paintings, every brushstroke, carving, and symbol is a reflection of the artist's view on life, death, and the unknown. But there's something unsettling about these works, something that speaks to our shared humanity. Beneath the surface of the vibrant colors and intricate designs lies a much darker message. What does this art tell us about ourselves, about the things that still haunt us today? Could it be that even in their pursuit of immortality and glory, ancient civilizations were trying to ward off the very darkness they feared? Take the ancient Egyptians, for instance. Their art is often seen as a portrayal of order, beauty, and eternal life, an image of perfection designed to ensure the soul's journey into the afterlife. Yet, if you look closer, you'll see something more chilling. Alongside the serene gods and pharaohs, there are depictions of grotesque creatures, demons, and terrifying figures of the underworld. The tombs of kings and queens are filled with images of guardians like Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the dead, whose role is not just to protect the deceased, but to keep them from the horrors lurking beyond death. In Egypt, the afterlife was not simply a peaceful continuation. It was a place where darkness, death, and suffering had to be confronted. In their art, they immortalized these fears, perhaps hoping that by doing so, they could control the very forces they feared the most. The Mayans, too, captured a similar duality in their art. While their towering pyramids and intricate stone carvings celebrated celestial knowledge and divine power, they also told a much darker story. Blood was not only a sacrifice to the gods, it was a necessity for the survival of their world. Mayan art depicted terrifying scenes of ritual bloodletting, human sacrifice, and terrifying serpentine gods that demanded tribute. This wasn't just artistic expression, it was an offering, a submission to forces far beyond human control. Art, in the Mayan culture, was a bridge to the supernatural, and it carried the weight of fear, death, and the unknown. The very same gods they worshipped were not always benevolent. They were demanding, vengeful beings who could punish those who did not appease them. Was their art a reflection of devotion or a manifestation of the fear that the gods could and would bring ruin upon them? Even the Greeks, known for their stunning works of art and philosophy, did not shy away from portraying the darker aspects of existence. The gods they worshipped were far from perfect, beautiful, yes, but often vengeful and cruel. The stories of gods like Zeus, Hera, and Hades are filled with jealousy, rage, and destruction. Greek pottery and sculptures immortalized these divine horrors, from the monstrous Minotaur to the Gorgon Medusa, each figure a symbol of rage, punishment, and the monstrous side of the human condition. These tales were not just fables, they were warnings. The gods were not always protectors. They were often the very source of the darkness that threatened to consume the world. Greek art didn't merely celebrate divine beauty, it also acknowledged the terror that lay within human nature and the gods themselves. These dark creatures, the Minotaur, the Gorgons, weren't just monsters. They were reflections of humanity's own potential for chaos and destruction. Long before the rise of civilizations, our ancestors left their mark in the deep caves of Lascaux, Altamira, and beyond. The earliest forms of art, painted in the shadows of ancient caves, tell stories of survival, but also hint at a deeper, more mystical purpose. At first glance, the animals, the hunts, the handprints seem to depict life, but there's more. Symbols, figures, and markings that seem to speak of something else. What did our early ancestors fear? What drove them to leave these eerie symbols behind? Were they simply marking territory, or were they invoking something far more ancient? The strange, unidentifiable figures, half human, half animal. Could they be representations of spirits? Or perhaps warnings of what awaited in the darkness? These early artists didn't just paint their world. They painted their nightmares, leaving behind evidence of what they feared most: the unknown. Ancient art is not just a window into the past. It's a mirror to our own anxieties, reflecting not only the beauty of life, but the dread of its fragility. In every civilization, from the Egyptians to the Greeks, from the Mayans to our distant ancestors, art has served as both a record of human experience and a tool to confront the inevitability of death. Each carving, each painting speaks of humanity's unrelenting struggle with mortality. It's no coincidence that some of the most striking pieces of ancient art depict not just gods, but also the horrors of the afterlife, monsters, spirits, and the forces that threaten to consume the living. In their pursuit of immortality and understanding, these ancient civilizations created more than just art. They created artifacts of fear, pieces of a puzzle that tell us something essential about the human condition. That in all our glory, in all our achievements, we are bound by the same shadow, our fear of the end. Thousands of years later, these ancient works still resonate with us, still haunt us. They remind us that while humanity may have evolved in many ways, the core of our fears remains unchanged. Art, it seems, is more than just a reflection of life. It's a reflection of death, of the terror that lies beyond, and of the darkness that we all carry within. In the end, ancient art doesn't just show us who we were, it shows us who we still are.